In this video, we're going to cover lead generation for ad agencies and cover some of the ways I've been able to scale my agency. And Robin here, he just flew in from Budapest to ask some questions about scaling agencies and lead generation. So Robin, I would love to hear your questions.
Yeah, so when I look around, I see kind of two methods of generating leads. You of course have the paid variants, like what we do, running ads, and the other one is like going to events or buying courses or getting access to groups that you only get when you pay some money, right? And on the other side, we have the free stuff like doing outreach, organic, so YouTube videos or blogs, and of course referrals, or like asking your clients for referrals. So I was curious, first of all, which strategy you recommend, people to start with, or that you felt was the most effective, especially now in 2021.
Yeah, so I can just go through what worked for me. What's going to work is going to differ on every person depending on what you're strong and weak at. So I started out with a lot of Upwork video proposals, which kind of is like outreach. It's like a freelance job site. It's still a decent place to start. You can definitely get to the first 3 to 5K a month with Upwork. So that's where I started. I would just send out video proposals and I would get them on a call and then sell them on a retainer. So that's kind of like the basic gist of it, right? Just do video proposals because nobody really does them on Upwork. I think nowadays it's more popular, but back when I was doing it, like everybody would send text proposals. Now, other than that, another common method is outreach, like doing cold outreach, reaching out to people on Facebook groups. Me personally, I've had a lot of success with posting content in Facebook groups or on my personal profile, adding people, and then people kind of organically conversing with me. Or when somebody says, hey, I need help with YouTube ads in a group, other people would tag me because I would kind of build some authority with that. So we built a Facebook group about YouTube ads, right? So in that group, I try to be active, and because of that, people often tag me when, let's say, somebody needs help with YouTube ads. And we've gotten some major whale clients with that method of literally somebody on Facebook asking, hey, I need help with YouTube ads, and basically a third person who's in my group tagging me because I provided them value, and they felt like, hey, this guy has provided a lot of value, so I'll go tag him in this. So that's another way of doing things. And that brings me to the next thing, which is a Facebook group. So Facebook groups worked really well for me. We've gotten a lot of leads from them. These days, I'm not as active as I should be. I'm trying to be more active in my Facebook group and post more content in there and engage with people. But it's definitely a really useful method to just build and influence and really get to know people, right? If you have a Facebook group, it's basically a platform. And from there, there's also my YouTube channel, which you're watching right now. So the YouTube channel is actually our current biggest lead source. We've really doubled down on this, really focused on building a great system for it. Right now, we're working on putting out videos 5 times a week. So our engagement, watch hours, number of leads coming through is increasing on all fronts. And this is the strategy that I'm really doubling down on the organic side, because what I've come to realize is doing one strategy really well is going to lead to better results than trying to do 3 or 4 strategies. So the YouTube group is the number 1 strategy, and then the Facebook group is the secondary strategy, where basically if you join our Facebook group, there's all this content being posted in there. I'm answering questions. My media buyers go in there sometimes and they answer questions, and there's a lot of smart people just helping each other out. And that's also a good lead generation source for us. Now, obviously referrals are great. You want to make sure you have a referral program for your clients. So you tell your clients that, hey, if you refer people, we'll give you a percentage off your retainer. This is really important because it ensures that they have motivation to refer people to you. And if you get your clients good results, you'll get referrals. But you don't want to rely on referrals, right? Like, they're useful, you get clients from them, but they're honestly not scalable beyond a certain point, and it's just one source of lead gen.
Yeah, so what is your referral structure, just like in a nutshell?
It's basically if a client sends a referral, we discount the retainer for X number of months.
Like a certain percentage as well?
Yeah, like I believe it's around 10%.
10% for X amount of months.
Yeah, which is, it's a decent sum of money. But yeah, it incentivizes them because they're essentially saving on their fees.
Yeah, and it makes sure it's not too complex because you just charge them less. It's not like, oh, I need to transfer them money or send them a gift or whatever. So it's not that complex.
Yeah, and I mean, sending a gift is also a great idea.
All right, that's cool. So just to summarize, you started with outreach. That's also how I did it at the beginning, just sending Loom videos. I did it over LinkedIn and Instagram. I still think that works quite well, I guess, because nobody's doing video. Mm-hmm. And then you start with organic, which is the Facebook group and YouTube, and then referrals kind of follow from there. So what about people who don't want to start a YouTube content strategy or a Facebook group? What about the pay to play principles? Like when do you think it's like moment revenue wise and business wise to start looking into going for ads yourself or investing like heavily into masterminds, courses, networking events, stuff like that?
Yeah, so networking and courses, I think you should invest into it at an early point, even if you're 15, 20K a month. For example, one of the best investments I made as an agency was buying a certain high-ticket program, one of Sam Owen's programs, and we were actually able to meet a lot of clients there and also learn a lot of valuable stuff from the course and the training, but it was just really, really useful to increase our network, get like multiple six figures in sales from that one Facebook group that they had. So definitely investing in networking is a really great way to get new clients and meet new people, and this can really help your business quite a bit, right? Obviously, make sure you're joining to also learn and not just to network, because if you're just joining to network, people can sense that and they can kind of get this vibe that you're trying to take from the group. Really, if you're there to just contribute value, you will do well. Now, the second strategy you mentioned is paid advertising. So this really depends, right? Again, if you're in a local niche, paid ads will be less competitive. If you're in a niche like mine, where I'm working with info product companies and e-commerce companies, those guys see ads all the time. So realistically, it's for a local niche, you could be at 10K a month and start doing paid ads and have some good results, or even 20K a month, because there's nobody else really running ads for them in certain niches, right? Now, obviously, if you're talking about dentists and so on, it's more competitive, but in many other niches, there's not that many people really targeting those people. For an agency in a more competitive niche like yours, where you're in info products, or mine, which is info products and e-commerce, I would probably say, hey, you want to wait till at least the 50 to 100K a month mark, because up till that point, you have so many lead gen sources that work really well before you start investing in paid ads for yourself, right? Just because of the fact that it's different to use paid ads to sell a course versus sell agency services. Because the thing with agency services is, number one, your profit margins are not that high and they accumulate over a long period of time. So when you're acquiring customers for paid ads, if you're selling them a 6K course and you spend $2,000 to get that customer, it's really profitable. You basically make like a 4K profit, maybe 3.5 after you take out like overhead and so on. But if you're spending 2K to acquire an agency client that's paying 5K a month, it's going to take you 3 to 4 months to really break even, depending on your profit margins, right? So if you have really great profit margins, absolutely go for it. But if you're at, like, let's say a 20% profit margin, you want to be really careful and understand your numbers before you start investing in paid ads. And quite frankly, for most agencies, lead gen methods like cold email, LinkedIn can all work quite well. So I actually had a question for you. What does your cold outreach process look like?
Yeah, so it really started, what I said, I started sending Loom videos. What I did, I was just, for example, because I'm in the info space, I really looked like, for example, for business coaches that help other coaches, right? And then I checked their testimonials, and then you could see by testimonial which ones were successful. That's how I was scraping like websites to find people. I used LinkedIn Sales Navigator, just using the keyword coach, going through all of them. Most of the time I'm looking for people with like, in the Netherlands we have a company which makes 100K per year. So I was always looking for people with a certain company type or people with employees, so the buying power is there. And nowadays it's a bit more organic. I'm just following people on Instagram sometimes, or I see an ad and then I start following them, and then I see like one of their friends who is not running ads, or so then it's more like Facebook group, network, and just general interest. Like I'm following other people, seeing what coaches are doing to learn from my own clients. So if I click on them and I follow them for a while, sometimes you start noticing something, hey, the ad stopped running, or hey, they really don't retarget me with YouTube ads, and now it's more like an active process of me just doing market research actually. And then that's how I find people, and now the referrals are also coming in quite regularly. And what I do is, because it's a local market, I run some ads to my case studies. I literally send them to a YouTube video. I mean, Facebook totally doesn't like that. And I also do that with YouTube discovery ads, because like that, people just see me around, see the case studies, and like, oh wow, this is impressive. But that only works, I guess, because nobody is doing it yet. So that's kind of my strategies. So I've always been actively searching, and I started a little bit with my YouTube channel, but you have to be consistent. So now I'm working on my systems. I don't have that much time for it, so I guess that's not really worth the investment. And I have also done the same as you. I joined courses, and then you meet people there who need your help, and that also works. So yeah, I guess that's it if I have to sum it up. The only thing that I want to give the viewers is that if you're doing this, it's really important to follow up on different channels, or that's what I realized. Like, people check their LinkedIn maybe once every week, and then they might not even see your message. And send you a message on Instagram, they have like 17 followers, and they will for sure see your message. Or like in some other place where you accidentally find them. I never used the Upwork, to be honest. So that's kind of how I do it.
Yeah, one really good point you made is retargeting. I think any agency at even 20K a month should do retargeting ads. So that's a really good point you made. And I need to turn back my retargeting ads on because I turned them off for a bit. I need to turn them back on. So thanks for reminding me.
Yeah, you can do that for like freaking $5 a day.
Exactly.
You know,
Video
Facebook
discovery
and,
ads are cheap, right? Like, retarget your website visitors, your subscribers, do some Facebook retargeting, do some case studies. It's like, even if people aren't booking calls from that, it's a way to just stay top of mind for your prospects.
Yeah, I just spend a couple of €100 every month, and I don't even care if I see the direct return, right? I know, I know by now I got a couple of sales calls, and I see, yeah, these are the people I want to help, so I know this will pay out. Like, every year I will get a client. I mean, that already happened. But then it's easy to not get frustrated when you don't get results directly, because you're not spending that much, but you also know it's more a long-term game. These people are comparing me with a couple of people, and if they see my results, then the chances are higher that they will book a call. So yeah.
Exactly. Cool. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. In the next video in our series, we're going to talk about scaling to $100,000 a month for an agency. So make sure to smash that like button and hit the notification bell so you know when that video comes out next.